What's up, guys? Welcome to the Amazon Savages podcast. Today, I'm joined with Rebecca, who has done 200,000 in sales. She's a self-proclaimed Nike Ungating queen. Welcome to the Amazon Savages podcast.
Welcome to the Amazon Savages podcast. Hear the stories of Amazon sellers crushing it in the game and keep up with the latest strategies that are working. Sit back, relax, and remember, if you truly try and work really hard, you will make a ridiculous amount of money selling on Amazon.
What's up, Rebecca? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm joined with my co-host Taylor, co-host of Miami Sellers Conference, and let's run this. So yeah, tell us how you got started doing all this.
Sorry. So how I got into Amazon is definitely a different, interesting story. It was one of those things where I was in a situation where I didn't want to be in anymore. So it was definitely fight or flight, which definitely helped me succeed in different ways, for sure, at least make sure I figured it out. I played volleyball in college. I was a libero. I'm a 3-time All-American for Division 2.
Is that D1, D2?
D2. I played Division 2 volleyball. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And after that, I studied exercise and sports science, and I minored in business. And with that, I knew, I always wanted to do something with opening up my own gym. I did the strength and conditioning route. So after that, I was at the University of Georgia as a strength and conditioning coach for 1.5 years. And then I went to USC Upstate in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and I was a strength and conditioning coach there. Essentially, this is where it takes a weird turn. Where I feel like when I say this story, people are like, "Okay, I was not expecting this."
If you're a strength and conditioning coach, do you think you can squat more than Avery can?
Probably. But here's the thing: I used to, yes, but I have a broken back, so I have a stress fracture, bilateral stress fracture in the bottom of my spine, so I can't load my spine anymore. So I only front squat regardless. But this then ties into, I used to be able to probably, but not really anymore, because when I was at USC Upstate, I developed a health condition. So I was in and out of the hospital, flying back and forth from Florida to South Carolina to kind of figure it out of what was going on. Essentially, they just kept thinking it was my stomach because I just kept throwing everything up. And they took a biopsy of my stomach. I had to get a scope to get it tested, found nothing. That was for Thanksgiving. I was all in the hospital. And during that time, I was just like, this is not worth it. Strength and conditioning, you're working from 4:45 in the morning until 7:30 at night, constantly in there, setting up, breaking down. It's very loud. You're constantly dealing with a bunch of things. You have to travel with teams. It was just, and you're not making a whole bunch of nothing, nothing. So during that time, I was like, I need to do something different. This is not worth it anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And it was kind of one of those things where it was just what do I do, right? Because I was door dashing after work. I would go and DoorDash to make extra money. I would pick up if I could teach volleyball somewhere, anything. I was just pulling any which way to just get some extra money. And I had some friends in the sneaker reselling business, and they obviously, you guys know, once you're in the reselling business, just the next things. It was Amazon.
Were they big shoe sellers, or kind of just medium size, or
big?
Okay.
Big.
Are they on Instagram? Can we give them a shout out?
Well, yeah. Well, he doesn't do it anymore, but it was Outlet Hunters, and he was at 150,000. He doesn't do that anymore, but he was really big in it, and it was one of those things where it was okay. And it was the other person was 717 Souls. I'm pretty sure he still does it, but they were obviously in, and they were like, okay. It was mainly Outlet Hunters. It was his name's Alex, and he was like, all right, try this. And I was like, okay, I can't lose any, I can't get any worse than this, right? I'm in and out of the hospital. I'm not making anything. I'm just miserable. That's how I started on Amazon. And essentially I had to go back into the hospital because nothing was fixed. Nothing helped. And they couldn't still figure it out. So I was in the hospital again, almost for Christmas. Oh my God, out the 22nd of December. From there, I figured out that I have an autoimmune disease. I have a thyroid condition, which ties into strength and conditioning. Because with that, my symptoms are, my hair was falling out. I can't hold weight. I'm constantly just losing weight. I'm really irritable, anxious. So loud noises and things don't do well with me. And I have muscle fatigue. So the muscle fatigue was my big thing because I couldn't really spot my athletes anymore. And I didn't feel comfortable doing so. I can't really lift over 45 pounds anymore.
Damn.
Too much, which is just not good for a strength and conditioning coach, right? That's my job, is to lift and at least be able to spot you at your heavy weight and be there to help you. And I can't do that anymore. So with that, I started to do Amazon, and then I started my own account, and then from there, I mean, for me, it wasn't hard to see a difference in income in the beginning for sure, but also back then, right? You got ungated for Nike probably in like 3 hours. Now it takes like 4 or 5 days if you get the right person to review it. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it takes a few days. Now they give you a date. They're like, you'll get your decision by X date, and I'm like, okay. So yeah, got ungated for Nike immediately and Adidas, so I was really heavy doing that. It was just doing very well. I was in a great area, Spartanburg, and I was really close to Charlotte. So I was just in a great area to start this regardless. And from there, I had to take the health leave because I just did not do the job anymore. So I had to take the health leave. And then from there, it was just bet on myself and just here we are.
Nice.
Your audio was affected
what was
a little.
The first... Go
Did
ahead,
you hear
Taylor.
that, Avery? I feel like your audio was cutting out.
Yeah,
there.
you kind of broke out a little bit there at the end. But
Yeah, I don't
what
know if
was what was the first product you sold on Amazon? How'd you find it? You doing retail arbitrage, online arbitrage?
Yeah, it was retail heavy. I was heavy retail. Even still today, I do. Like, I love retail arbitrage. I'm like one of those psychos that still loves to do it. But yeah, I was heavy retail.
What got you? So you said your friends were in the sneaker business. So what are you using? Like, you using the Amazon Seller app, going in the store, Seller Amp? What are you doing?
So in the beginning, it was how can I make this work with the lowest overhead, with the lowest overhead cost. So I was printing labels at work because I couldn't afford a Rollo printer or just a label printer, and I didn't really know that there was like cheaper options. So I was printing labels at work.
Rollo, baby.
Yeah. Now I have one. But yeah, in the beginning, no, I was using like the school printer at USC Upstate. Sorry, but how to get it done. And I was just using the Amazon Seller app. I wasn't using any other extra things that would give me an overhead cost. So I was just heavy on the Amazon Seller app only.
Nice. That's what I was using, honestly, all through my RA days, I was using the Seller app. Yeah. It's changed now, though. It's kind of clunkier. Did you guys notice that? Like, I don't know when they changed it, but
it's just glitchy. Like, everything with Amazon is super glitchy, but
yeah. But nice. So what, like, I know a lot of your reels, Rebecca, you've been like, have been direct into the Nike store. Yeah. What other strategies have you found really useful? I mean, are you all in the Nike outlets, or have you found any other like kind of strategies that maybe other RA sellers watching this maybe aren't super aware of?
Well, it really just kind of depends on like what like you can sell to, right? So like even for my students, I'm very big on let's find things in the beginning you can sell. Like screw whatever tells you that need an invoice, we'll deal with that later, because there's a lot of things that people can sell. So even for me, like, I mean, I do some videos at like Marshalls and TJ Maxx, but that's legitimate. Like, I was heavy Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Nike in the beginning. Like, you could find really great stuff there. And when it comes down to it, it really is what you can sell and how low can you get it for. So building the relationships early with whatever you're working with, whatever store you're going into, like, people want to help. Like, not everybody is so against resellers or like doing this type of business. So definitely kind of speaking up and at least asking. I'm very big on that. You don't know until you ask. So just ask. And if someone says no, or someone looks at you twisted, and that's a them problem. That's not a you problem. So when it comes to like retail arbitrage, you have to definitely be able to go, in my opinion, go back and forth of thinking business and thinking consumer. Like, really be there and be like, okay, would somebody actually buy this? Is this something that somebody would want? Like, what is the colorway? What is the type? What is the fabric? What is the size, right? Like, quadruple XL, how fast is that really going to sell? Like, how big of a market is that, right? But maybe a small and a medium, or maybe even a large or an extra large, right? Men to female, completely different sizes. Kids, right? Probably want to be doing some half sizes for kids' shoes. Yeah. I'm not a mother, but I would assume mothers are probably buying half sizes because their kid grows quick. Yeah. So they're probably going to buy that bigger shoe. Maybe scan that. It's just things like that. That's a lot of free game. Sometimes I just go, so here's some free game.
How much data are you looking at? You look at that sales rank and stuff like that?
Yeah. My opinion for sales rank is probably one of the wackest ones you'll ever hear. But still, like, sales rank, yes, is always going to be important. That's like a standard metric. I'm more into sellers how many sellers are on the listing, how many units they have. So that's obviously where seller amp comes in. But that's my favorite metric, I would say, for the most part, is the sellers and how many units, because as we all know, that price goes up and down, right? So if someone's tanking it and they only have 3 units, by the time, if I'm doing FBA with it, by the time I even create the shipment, get it out, it gets to the warehouse, that lowest seller might be sold out. Yeah. So it's like, but also, okay, what's the history? Like, I'm big on the charts of the year, 3 months, 6 months, and then the sellers and their units.
So even in the store, you're looking at the keep-up before you're buying it.
1,000%.
Yeah. I used to just wing it, and I'd be like, all right, looks good.
No, yeah,
Get home, start packing it up, look at the keep-up, and you're like, well, that was stupid.
With the Amazon seller app in the beginning, right, you only have so much to work with.
Yeah.
But, I mean, clearly, I mean, I'm sitting here today, it worked. Like, the Amazon seller app works. Like, I'll push that on anybody. You're already paying for it $39.99 a month. Like, if you are on a tight budget, you can get a good amount out of it.
Yeah. What's your biggest advice? Because you do some coaching too, right?
Yes.
What's your biggest advice? Because, like, I know that I was doing coaching when I was doing the RA, and then I stopped. What's your biggest advice? Because, like, I remember all my students when I was doing it would be like, oh my gosh, I can't find anything, blah, 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 blah. What do you say to them? Like, what's your, because, like, that was hard for me because I felt like I was giving them everything I was doing, and do you, as a coach, do you focus more on, like, the mental state, like, look for stay positive, or are you giving them, like, focusing on the strategies? Like, how do you do that as a coach?
I feel like everything in life is confidence, for sure.
Yeah.
If you're not confident in something that you're doing, it might just be a coin flip at that point. If you're really confident and you're in a state of illusion, literally, it might work for you. And I mean, when it comes to when somebody says, I can't find anything, that statement really doesn't go well with me. Like, I don't react to that statement very positively, because I'm very, like, I've sourced in a lot of states, and it just so happens there's only a few students that live in places where I've never sourced.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm just like, no, like, I've been there, I've done it, I've seen it. There's a good amount of stuff. You can find something anywhere. Like, I'm very big on there's money to be made anywhere. I'm not going to say I haven't walked into a store and not found anything. That's happened. Yeah. That'll happen to anyone. But if you're consistently just like, can't find anything. Okay, well, what's your range? Because maybe you're just in an unrealistic range for your state of selling. Like, if you're a beginner, you're not ungated for anything, I'm sorry, but your sales rank is going to have to go higher. It just is, because you could sell those products, right? What's your metric state that you're in? You might have to be higher, it might have to be lower. Where are you going? What are you looking for? Are you looking for clothes when you're not even ungated for brands? Of course, you're not going to find anything. Yeah, look for things that are random brands.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. So you said you've sourced a lot of states. Did you used to do, like, a lot of road tripping and stuff, or? Yeah, I feel like a lot of RA sellers are getting. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that, because I don't know a lot of RA sellers personally, other than Jameson, and he's the one that's popping. He texted me. He's like, "Hey, you know any good spots in Salt Lake?" I'm like, "Dude, I think I haven't been to a store in like a year, so I have no idea."
It's a different lifestyle, man.
Yeah,
it's a different lifestyle. So, are you doing much online arbitrage now?
Yeah, I do both heavy and wholesale.
Yeah.
Retail arbitrage, like, I just put it in when I can. Like, that, it's just something for me. Like, I just enjoy it. Like, and I feel like if you still enjoy it, then you'll find a time to kind of fit it in, or like stop on the way from wherever you're coming from. But yeah, no, I'm mainly OA, and I dabble in wholesale, but that's my goal, to get way more into it.
Nice.
Yeah.
What would you say, you go into a store, what's your typical process look like? Are you just going straight for the Nike section? Are you scanning everything? Are you developing an eye, like, oh, I know this is good? Like, what's a typical store run look like for you?
If it's a Nike store, I would, humbly speaking, that one's pretty easy for me. Like, I could walk in and know immediately if there's something worth my time or not. That took time.
Now, is this just like Nike, or is Nike outlet? I don't really know the difference between those.
No, so I don't do, like, a flagship. You never want to walk into. That's a waste of time. The prices are just way too high. But a factory store and a clearance store, I source those completely different, because they're just completely different. So, like, a factory store, which most times I like a factory store better than a clearance. But a factory store, I'll go to the equipment first, and that one's pretty easy. Hats, some visors, maybe if you see some socks in there, but usually they're too high. But I'm really looking for hats, visors, backpacks. From there, then I go to kids because I feel like a lot of people skip kids. Kids, there's a lot of money to be made off some kids. As
How ethical, Rebecca, making money on children.
As fucked up as that sounds, but if little Johnny sees
That's not fucked up. It's their parents buying it.
The parents are buying it, yeah.
I sell textbooks for fucking $100 a piece to kids that won't even read them.
Yeah. So then I go to kids. Shoes. Well, it's a factory store, so shoes first. And then I'll do some clothing because you can the clothing for kids is a broader range because they like the colors and the random patterns that might do well. Then I go straight to men's. I'll spend a good amount of time in men's depending on kind of what I'm seeing. Like if they have joggers and they're on sale, great. Crew necks or hoodies, zip ups, maybe shirts, not really too much shorts. And then I go to shoes and then I'll do women's. And that's my route. Women's I spend the least amount of time in because there's just not that much. There's not good stuff.
Not into women.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Just,
nice.
It's just if it's sports bras or some specific type of shorts. Otherwise, not worth your time.
Yeah, I remember there was a clearance store when I was living in Miami that I would always clean up shop in, and sometimes there would be. I think it was like you could tell when it was like a nationwide sale because you notice a lot of people also get on it, but a lot of the time it would just be really good stuff.
Yeah.
Those days when you were going out and I was just at home drinking coffee on the computer, and you come back home lugging it in.
Yeah, we used to live together, Rebecca. Yeah, and that would be I remember one time, I came home and he's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? I just found like $2,000 in profit." He's like, "Why don't you drop this off at a prep center and not have to do anything?" And at that time, I was like, "Wait, what's a prep center?"
What's that mean? Yeah.
So
are you using preps then for your wholesale business?
No, because I do
for
it local.
OA? Are you?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm one of those people that has to have their hands on everything, which is a problem. That's my biggest flaw. And that's like part of my New Year's thing is to give tasks away because that's very much my issue for sure.
Yeah. You're also not too at that huge size with your business where it would even makes I feel like when you're, under, I don't know, 75 a month, 75K a month, it's like, sometimes it's okay to kind of smart to do it yourself because it's like, it's manageable, Yeah.
The irony is though with FBA, you've delegated like 90% of it. So like Amazon, Jeff Bezos forced you to delegate a portion of your business and you didn't even realize it. That's what I always tell people. So like people that don't want to use prep centers, I'm like, what if Amazon suddenly came out with a $2 per item fee and they required you not to prep your own product and instead they would come to you and prep your product for you? What if they forced you to do that? Would you still sell on Amazon? The answer is yes for everybody. So like they already forced you to delegate that portion where they prep and pack the item in a box, ship it to the customer. They charge you $7, $8, $9 for that. But a lot of people don't think about it that way. And it's the same thing with content too. Like we probably both have enough content. All three of us probably have enough content out there where somebody's watching us at all times. So we've literally like replicated ourselves. So we're always talking at any given second to somebody. And we didn't think about that as delegation because it was more technically with automation, but same kind of concept there, so.
Yeah.
I
mean too, like prepping my own stuff now has definitely benefited me because like you said, the content, like I make content out of it. So that's now too, with just the way my social media has been going, I'm not going to delegate like where I can make an informative video. I'm not going to give that up.
Yeah. When did you realize content could be big for you? Like, did you have like one reel go viral?
I always loved making content. Like I used to do like a fitness page just for fun, like in college. Like me.
Taylor used to have OnlyFans back in the day.
I was cranking in probably
10%, right?
I had 30 people at $50 a month. but
Did
it
you
was not.
really?
It was not for an. It was actually product leads that I actually sold.
But
on
he hosted it on OnlyFans.
yeah,
Did you really?
yeah, but it was comical because people, when I marketed it, it got people's attention right away. They're like, "You're using what?" And I'm like, "No, it's a leads list. It's a leads list." And but I didn't. I honestly don't like the concept of doing a leads list because I personally don't use them. So it's like for me that was hard to sell because it's like people like I wouldn't buy this stuff and I'm giving it.
Yeah,
to
it's not
people.
genuine.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I stopped, but it was on OnlyFans.
That's hysterical.
Half the people were just waiting for Taylor to post the nudes.
Surprise! It's Friday.
Yeah, literally. No, the amount of comments, the amount of people that comment, I think I probably get 3 every single video. OF link. Oh, is OF actually paying your bills?
Dude, it actually might be smart for you to make it OnlyFans, but Amazon based. Make it OnlyFans Amazon based. You'd have a lot of disappointed people, but I bet you would do way better than Taylor did.
Well, I think there's also better.
That wouldn't be a bad idea of just being like, yeah, my OnlyFans link, but it is like leads.
Yeah.
Or like informational tips.
Yeah. I'm already getting crazy ideas, but yeah.
Yeah, or like a Kajabi. I mean, there's other platforms that are better than OnlyFans though, like Kajabi and stuff. Like, I don't know, but
Watch me
but yeah.
prep shirtless.
Yeah, you okay, Avery?
Me, I said me.
But yeah, Rebecca. So finish Avery's question. You were talking about content and how you kind of got into that. You had a fitness page, and then when was it where like, oh, I could make this about Amazon too?
Oh yeah. So I would do the fitness for fun because that was always like just a passion of mine. So I would just kind of film that for fun. When it came to Amazon, it was one of those things where I was like, I always wanted to be like a content creator. I always liked doing that. Like when I made the videos for my fitness page, I don't care if it had 1 view or if it had thousands, hundreds of thousands, like it made me happy. Like I just like doing that. And so I was just like, you know what? I think I'm going to start something, whatever it is. I didn't even really have like a plan. It was just kind of like, I'm just going to start filming some different things, see where it goes. I started on TikTok. My TikTok got banned at like 8,000 followers. So, and then that's when I started with my mentorships and different things like that. My
How
TikTok.
come? What did they get banned you for?
It was they kept saying that it was like fraud because of the hooks that I would use.
Oh.
And they kept flagging the videos, and so I think I had 3 flags or whatever it is.
That happened to me on Facebook. They banned my ads account because I kept saying make money with selling used books, and that like flagged it as an MLM or something.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me on TikTok, and so I'm pretty much just like you TikTok, and that's when I started my Instagram in maybe like September.
Have you made a new TikTok?
Yeah, but I don't pay it. Like I post the video on TikTok just to be able to download it to post it on Instagram. Like I don't even pay attention to my TikTok anymore.
Gotcha.
They like.
Would you want to buy my TikTok? I'm just kidding. I'm just.
He does have 100. What do you have?
I have 130,000 followers, and I'm losing. I'm losing about 1,000 followers a month right now.
Oh wow!
Are you really?
No, probably a little less. I am down. I was at 140, and now I'm down to like 137. But
wow!
I was posting like back in 2020. I was posting a lot of the similar type videos as you. Like, oh guys, I just made $1,000 profit. I can buy. You know, like, yeah.
Yeah. No, but that's kind of my personality too. I'm very, which is maybe a flaw, but it's really, I don't really think of that one changing much anytime soon. Of like, if it's like one screw over or like you just crossed the line with me or something like that, like you're dead. And that's essentially what TikTok did to me. Because I mean, like that's my business and I loved doing it and I was doing nothing wrong, right? Yeah. Like I'm sure we've all seen some pretty crazy stuff on TikTok. And like, that's what would really piss me off because I'm just like, I'm just doing this and like, X, Y, and Z are doing that, but I'm getting banned and I'm getting flagged. So I pretty much was just like, yep, we're moving over to Instagram. And that's where I put all of my focus right now.
I'm surprised I haven't been banned from TikTok. I've been banned from like everything.
Yeah.
Google ads, Facebook ads, Tinder, Bumble, Facebook, everything except Instagram.
I didn't realize that Facebook, like you could get banned from ads. I've never ran an ad, so I don't know how any of that works. But
yeah, they don't like make money online. They don't like anything political. Like it's so easy.
Huh.
Taylor got hacked.
Oh my God. Well, I was going to be like, hey, Avery, your ad account got hacked. I'll run the ads for Miami Sellers Conference on my account. And
You manifested it, bro.
someone, let's see here. So someone messages me and they're like, hey, you need to, this is someone from, what's the Mark Zuckerberg Meta. So it was like, hey, you need to verify this. Please click the link below to verify your identity. And I was just trying to get this shit done with, so I clicked the link and I fucking put my email and password in. And it wasn't anyone from Meta. It was somebody else.
They hacked his personal Facebook account.
Logged in, changed my profile.
And then Taylor has a nerve to be like, I told you that I was going to get banned. I'm like, dude, you didn't get banned. You clicked a phishing link. I get like 3 of those messages a day.
That was me. That was me being stupid. Like when you're rushing, you're not paying attention. I was not paying attention. But it was funny, actually. It was really funny. I was like, that was probably one of the stupidest things I've ever done. And then they changed it to like, I don't know, I should probably check and make sure they're not still posting but anyways. You gotta be careful. Those phishing links, man.
They probably sold like 10 high ticket programs for crypto to your audience.
Hopefully not. But yeah, so cool. Well, what do you see on the horizon, Rebecca, with your Amazon business? Do you see yourself, continuing to do more RA, more wholesale? Like, kind of what do you see on the horizon for yourself?
Definitely wholesale. Like I went to ASD last August. And that's like, I went because I was like, okay, this is where all my focus is going to go. And then my focus went to find it, flip it. And then that's life. That's just what happens. No, I'm not mad about it at all. Like I said, like I've always wanted to do content in whatever way it is. I just love making the content, helping whoever, like I'm helping one person at least, like I gotta be. So like, that's enough to make me happy. And, but as for the horizon, it's definitely wholesale. It's definitely like delegating the prep and some of that type of busy work, and even like kind of just kind of keeping up with it. Like I haven't had the time to keep up with Amazon, my own Amazon, period. But I mean, I still find a way to get out the FBM orders because that still just scares me shitless to this day if I don't get one out on time. But that's definitely on the horizon, as well as then for like the content aspect of it is definitely transitioning. Not really fully. I just love Instagram. Definitely one of those like Instagram.
Yeah, you're doing really well on IG compared to most people.
Right I love I love Instagram, and not even because of my like the success, of course, plays into it, but like even for my own personal account, like when I was younger in college, I loved Instagram. So that's really exciting for me to keep building that, and I will keep building that. But
are you posting on YouTube or Facebook?
That's going to be my transition. It's going to be YouTube. I have not. I post like I was posting shorts, but I couldn't keep up with it, and it was inconsistent, and I didn't want to be inconsistent with it anymore. So I stopped until I knew that like, okay, I'm gonna post X, Y, Z.
I would just post. You're posting your reels consistently. I would just download those and post them on YouTube Shorts and Facebook.
It would do really
Gary
well.
Vee's talking about this. He says Instagram's the hardest right now, and you're crushing on Instagram. But YouTube and Facebook are really good. So I'll post something on Instagram. I'll get less than 1,000 views, but then it'll get above 1,000 views on YouTube, and it'll get more engagement on Facebook.
Well, my thing too is like what I've been noticing, like, because right when you kind of get past the humps of like the different things that you want to achieve, whatever it is, like for me, I definitely want like way more followers than I have now. That's a goal, but like I already have 3 videos at over 1 million. Yeah. When you realize that, like when you get to that, like that was really cool for me, like reaching 1 million on a video, because I think of it more of just like, which is kind of just how my mind works, of just 1 million. I reached 1 million people. 1 million people saw this, and I was able to help or show or guide 1 million people or whatever, or piss off half of them, because that's how I really got 1 million views, from the haters. So shout out to the haters if I'm going to shout out anybody on this thing. But really, once you realize that, and then you're just like, wait, I got all these views and I haven't made a dime. That's where I'm starting to have a little bit of beef with Instagram, but still love Instagram. Like I want to keep pushing it. That's where I'm going to start transitioning into YouTube. But also, like, I feel like my informative videos are doing really well, or like when I show direct, genuine processes, which would be more fun for me to make that into long form, which I need to transition that over to YouTube anyway.
Yeah, that's what YouTube's good for. And Gary Vee also talks about that too, like choosing the platform and the message that fits the platform. YouTube's really good for like the long form, like educational stuff, like how to do X, Y, and Z. Whereas like the Reels is like really good for like short little inspo stuff. Like, hey, just made $500. Check it. So cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the plan.
You excited for Miami?
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same question. So, just to let you know, Avery and I are best friends, and we're actually mentally synced up energetically.
Literally, seems like it. But you live where? I'll answer your question. But you live where? I know he lives in Utah, but where do you live? Avery?
Oh, I live in Nashville. I thought you were saying, "What am I wearing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm wearing Romer Brothers." This is my grandpa had a tree service, and my uncle runs it now. And check this out. This has a chainsaw mark on it from the guy that was cutting. I don't know if he's still alive or not, but I got the sweatshirt from him. So,
wow, that's wild.
That's where Romer comes from. It's my mom's maiden name. But I'm here in Nashville, Tennessee. I started my business out here. Lived in Miami for a couple of years. 1 year with Steve Rakin Profit, and 1 year with Taylor Jones. We met on TikTok. Cool. He popped up on my For You page. I said, "Fuck you. Who is this guy?" Because I thought he was like a fake guru. Yeah. But I saw you had those ears. Show him your ears.
Wait, did you really? Actually, I feel like you can't even.
I saw him. I noticed he's got cauliflower ear from wrestling. And
okay.
Maybe this year.
I was like, dude, come to Miami, or you're in Miami or something. I was like, let's link up. I'm gonna beat your ass on the beach. And he's like, all right, let's roll. Literally comes, picks me up. I live in a luxury apartment in downtown Miami. Picks me up, takes us to the beach, and we just wrestled on the beach. And that was how we became best friends.
And I actually thought he was gay at the time.
That says more about him than it says about me.
But I was like, well, because another one of
I was gay, but he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go pick him up anyway. He wants to wrestle on the beach. I think he might be gay.
I was like, cool. I met Jameson, another one of our friends who does RA, and I met him in a Walmart parking lot. And he was he's like, hey, be careful with that Avery guy. I think he kind of like, I'm like, what? And he's like, I don't know. So I'm like picking him up. I'm like, geez, I hope this guy don't make a move on me. So anyway, you did not need to know any of that, Rebecca, but thank you.
So much more about both of you than it says anything about me.
Yeah. Thank you for being a good listener. We are super excited to have you as a speaker. If anybody didn't know, woo!
We got to add you to the website.
Yep. We'll have the 2-day event, and then I believe we're setting sail on a yacht Sunday night. We got the after party Saturday night. It is going to be lit, filled with networking, filled with inspiration, new friendships, good stuff.
Yeah, we'll show you the speaker lineup real quick, and
we'll add you. Can you click the Miami Sellers Conference button, or do we not have one?
I do. I need to make a video for it. It's kind of like underwhelming when I'll play it in a second. Okay. But Rebecca, let me know who you know on this speaker lineup. But we got Watch Me Amazon this year. We got Warner Fields, Miles, Flips for Miles, Reezy Resells, me and Taylor. We got Tim Soros. He does. How much does he do a year? Do you know?
You should really change his to Tim Abalo. His real name is Abalo, and he doesn't want to go by Soros anymore.
Really?
Yeah, that's incorrect.
Okay, well, let me know. I can update it. We got Amazon Lit, Joji Davenport. He's making $100K profit this year, just flipping textbooks. We got a few booksellers in the house, so a lot of my audience is booksellers. So we got this guy doing $600,000 a month as a bulk bookseller out of Canada. You sound like you're from up north somewhere. Where are you from originally?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hysterical that you say that. So I'm from South Florida.
South Florida, okay. I don't know why. You sound like you have like a northern accent.
Well, because my last name is Martinez, as shown. My dad's from Uruguay.
Okay.
But my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and my dad obviously worked. So I always joke because she's from New Jersey. So I didn't learn Spanish, but I learned how to speak like a northerner, which is getting me nowhere so far. But that's okay. So yeah, that's why you hear the northern accent. Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go walk my dog for a quick second, or
My dog.
it'll just slip. But I'm just like, but I mean, South Florida is pretty north, so my accent isn't even that bad compared to a lot of people that live here. We call them the
Yeah.
Stones.
Uruguay. Have you been to Uruguay?
Not yet. It's coming soon. I'm really excited to go.
Here's some information on Miami Sellers Conference, guys.
Miami Sellers Conference. Commit to expanding your network by the best Amazon event of the year. Visit MiamiSellersConference.com today to save your seat.
Paid $500 for that.
Are you serious?
No, I did pay like, I don't know how much I paid, way too much, probably $300 or $400, but he did like 10 of them for me.
Oh, okay.
So he did like the intro to the podcast.
Uruguay,
Yeah, that was cool. The little intro.
Yeah, I like that one. So yeah, we'll have you speaking at Miami. Do you know what you're gonna be talking about yet? You can talk about whatever you want. It's fine if you don't know what you're gonna, but you can just give like an overview of yourself or what you might like to talk about.
Am I the only female speaking?
No, we're working on that so we don't get canceled. We're under inspection by the woke
community. We're really, really, really scared, especially all of these really, really woke people that are just ready to cancel the shit.
How many females are you gonna have speaking?
We got FBA Michaela. She spoke last year. And then we have like 10 that we're looking at. I interviewed a couple this week, but my thing is like, I just want you to have credibility either like on social media, which obviously you do, or just sell a shit ton on Amazon. And like, honestly, I can't think of too many women doing above 7 figures. Like FBA Cynthia, I interviewed her on my podcast. We could talk about getting her on there. Do you know FBA Cynthia? She's out of LA, Mexican. She's a hustler. She's already done 100K this year.
Good for her.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we just want credible people. Absolutely. But you know what? Honestly, like, I think that there's a lot of other value other than just having big sales numbers. You know, like, there's a lot of value in just seeing someone willing to put themselves out there like Rebecca is on social media.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of value in sharing a story, like such as her health condition, and kind of saying, screw that. I'm not going to be working these 12-hour days. I'm going to find something that gives me flexibility despite the difficulty or whatever that you went through. Like, I think that's also valuable. Like, there's so many different things. I don't think we've ever tried. I mean, we do also value credibility. Like, we don't want a bunch of fake gurus up there be like, hey guys, we got Tommy. He sold $5,000 this year. He's so good at art, but like, we like that too, obviously, but yeah.
No, I'm excited. Thank you guys very much.
So
totally. Yeah. So, whatever you want to talk about, whether you want to talk about, going in a store, sourcing. I mean, honestly, like you could talk about social media.
Yeah. I think too, it's like when it comes down to it, like a lot of people have different focuses on what they want to do with Amazon. Like for me, I didn't really know, but I knew I didn't want like Amazon forever. I wanted more like just different, like what path can this bring me to? Whether it is, okay, I do Amazon for 2 years and it teaches me so much about just basic business, how to run some type of business that's not a brick and mortar, right? Or bringing it into a different outlet, like being able to broadcast my life and like what this actually entails and how it goes. So that's kind of my like way of thinking about it. So, but it's also too, like, kind of like I said in the beginning, I'm just very big on like the confidence aspect of life in general. So it's like, if you're selling on Amazon and you want to show it, like you shouldn't be embarrassed or whatever you're doing in life, like then you're not happy or you're not totally content if you're not confident about what you're doing. So
yeah. I'm curious, Rebecca. This is kind of a nuanced, like weird, interesting question, but niche question. When you got those videos that got like 1 million plays, I'm really curious because I just was in Italy last year in September and posted like this guy jumping off this huge cliff jump, and like I had a really clickbaity hook and stuff, and it got 1 million, and it got 1 million plays, but I didn't get any DMs from it because it was just a random video. How many, like with your clips that you're posting and getting, 100,000, whatever, up to 1 million views, are you getting a lot of intake of potential clients?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Like, I'm really curious, like how many, like, I guess you don't have to give me an exact number, but like, that's pretty awesome. So it seems like you're able, posting those videos is helping you build a totally different business of helping people with ungating and stuff.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Because I mean, too, like, I'm very interactive, so I really take the time to answer people and acknowledge them. Like, there's a saying in strength and conditioning, like,
You left me on red. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I have a problem. I mess around all the time. But go ahead. Sorry.
But there's a saying in strength and conditioning where it's the athlete doesn't care until they know that you care. So I definitely use that a lot with everything that I do, right? Like, okay, yeah, you should care about what I'm saying, but like, if I don't give you the time of day, why are you gonna spend X amount on my mentorship, or why are you gonna book a call, or why are you gonna want me to help you in any which way if I'm not even acknowledging your existence? So for me, it's very much like, if you're asking a question, like, I give a fair amount of free game. I mean, a lot of everything that I post is just literal free leads if you really think about it, but nobody really thinks of it like that. Like, those are things that I'm buying. I'm posting them probably 2 days after I buy them.
Yeah.
And I'm just handing it out to the world, but no one really thinks about it like that. But regardless, like, people ask some pretty good questions and I'm like, okay, I'll just answer it. Like, I'd rather answer it and engage. And then a lot of people then DM me, but a lot of videos, stories. I mean, my account has over 2 million in engagements right now. So, I mean, and that
over the last 30 days or a lifetime?
30 days.
Wow.
Like,
nice.
So, I mean, just from the videos alone, like, the amount of comments and DMs and just everything, like, yeah, I have, let's see, my professional dashboard, 2,015,000.
Are you getting mainly girls, or is it a lot of guys reaching out?
I'm 50-50, which is pretty cool. You would think, like, and the content that I post is geared towards who's nice, towards who's
my dog. I just wanted to share this, guys. My dog just got a haircut.
She's like 2 million bitches, and you're like, here's my dog.
I'm just such a dad, and he's so cute, isn't he?
But yeah, I'm pretty 50-50, even for students in mentorship. Like, I have more men, grown men.
And like, I would say, especially 7-figure sellers, you get way more men. Just in general, you get way more men who are Amazon sellers. But so that's a representation of the 50-50. Otherwise, you would expect to have more women, I would think, you know.
Yeah. I'm going to look at that. Total followers, I think. Yeah. I have 55% women, 44.9% men.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
out of the people that actually take action, is it more men or women, or is it still 50-50?
I would say it's 50, truthfully 50-50. Yeah. Or I have a lot of, like, husband and wives, or I have a lot of dads with daughters who want to do it together, which I think is cool.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
I wish people wouldn't get into it so it's not as much competition for us, you know.
I'm going to keep filtering people in.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm in a silly mood today, but that's awesome. Well, great. Avery, any other questions for our special guest, Rebecca, here today?
I would just say, I really like what you said, like, about caring, like, show the athlete you care, because I coach wrestling, and I struggle with like, if you don't want to be a state champion, I just can't fathom why you're even in the room, because that's all I wanted. And so, but I see the same thing selling on Amazon. And as a coach now, I take more responsibility for the kids' internal desire. And I realize it's not all my responsibility. A lot of it comes down to what environment am I putting them in at a young age. So if I can take them and put them in a tournament where they get to see champions that look like them and are their age, and see collegiate champions or even Olympians, then that unlocks something in their brain to want to be able to actually do it.
Yep.
And so it's my responsibility as a coach not just to go in there and be fired up every day and expect them to have the same desire that I had simply by being around me, but rather than putting them in the same situations that I was put in that gave me the drive in the first place. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about doing Miami Sellers Conference. It always sounds like I'm trying to promote the event, but I'm serious when I say this. There's something that happens when a girl shows up and she sees somebody like you who's crushing it, who's just as smart as you, and in the same life situation. Maybe they live in the same state. Maybe they have the same color hair. Maybe they're the same age. Something is like, I'm just like her, therefore I can do it, versus maybe they have nothing in common with me and Taylor. And they're like, these are young, driven boys. I have nothing in common with them. Like, you know, and same, we have older people that have success. And so I like putting all these people together, and then just the magic happens there.
Absolutely.
You know? So,
I love that. That's a really good point, Avery.
Yeah.
That's how I got success. Like I used to shout out Caleb Roth. He used to throw these book selling events, and I would show up, and I knew nothing about selling on Amazon. And we would just get drunk Friday night, and I would just be with a bunch of booksellers. Some of them were doing like $300K a month. Some of them were doing $3,000 a month. Some of them were doing nothing. But when I saw the people doing $300K a month selling used books, I'm like, holy fuck. Like, this is real. Yeah. Way more real than watching a TikTok of somebody bragging about it. You know? Yeah. So.
And I mean, it really is. Like, life is definitely all about who you surround yourself with, or at least what you're consuming. Like, if someone doesn't want to, if someone doesn't think like, okay, I don't really need to go to this Miami Sellers Conference because I'm just starting or whatever else, like, go, because you'll be surrounded by people like us if that's who you want to be. Like, act and be around who you want to be. Like, that was another thing that was said to me really early in strength and conditioning, right? Like, because I started at Georgia as an unpaid intern. So I just did a volunteer internship, kind of just for a resume builder, whatever. They asked me to come back and hire me. When I first started, that's what was said to me by one of the strength and conditioning coaches, Coach Gearhart. He's at Arkansas football, I think, right now. He said, act and surround yourself around who you want to be. Like, if you want to be a head strength and conditioning coach, act like it. Like, don't overstep, like, know your boundaries, but act like it. Like, act and be who you want to be. And just, like, that's why I'm very big. That just comes with confidence and kind of a delusion. Like, if you're not delusional in life, just try it out a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, that was when Avery and I moved in together that first month of March 2021, and he was operating his business totally different. I was in the stores for 8 hours a day, and he was like waking up at 11 a.m. Like,
hey, I was doing this.
Grind hard, well done, sir, and welcome to the freaking Well Show.
Grind hard. He'd wake up, just be on his phone sending his VAs WhatsApp messages, and I'm like, you get paid to just, like, what are you doing? And I was so curious. But that friendship, I mean, in 3 months, I had a prep center. I was like transitioning to OA. I had my first virtual assistant. And that was with the inspiration for this event. It was like, yo, let's think about how can we get even more business owners together,
Yeah.
So, and create that synergy. So it's going to be good. 300 people. Let's go.
It'll be a good time.
I think we'll have 300 people this year. I really do.
Yeah.
So where can they find you at, Rebecca?
Well, you can find me at find.flipit on Instagram and TikTok, and coming soon to YouTube. And you can find me at the Miami Sellers Conference in March 15th. Let's get it.
Let's get it. And guys, remember, we got the Feed the Beast Challenge running all 2024. Here's some information on it real quick. If you want to build a profitable Amazon business in 2024, consider joining the Feed the Beast Challenge. This is a challenge I put together where you'll get access to a complete video course on how to run an Amazon business. And the purpose of this challenge is to help you send more profitable items to Amazon so your bank account can go up. The more items you send to Amazon, the more money you make. And that's the purpose of this challenge, is to help you go out, find profitable books, and challenge you. We have live weekly coaching calls. We also have a private community. It's all 100% free. Just go to starthumble.com/beast, or just click the link below and it will enroll you in the challenge. Much love, and see you in there. If you guys want to meet me face to face, I'm there every single Tuesday on the live calls. I guarantee you, if you come with your camera on, you'll get to meet me face to face. And that really holds you accountable. And what I was talking about, it like unlocks it in your brain. You'll see like 10 other people on the live call that are getting results. So Feed the Beast Challenge, link will be below. Also, the links to all of her social media, all of Rebecca's social media will be below. Her DMs are open, so go ahead and DM her if you guys have questions, and we'll see you guys at Miami Sellers Conference. Peace.
Bye.
Boom.